Okay guys, Bobby here. This is the all-new Camry. The one that all the foreign medias has been reporting on how drastically different it is to drive, especially. And even Akio Toyoda himself said that they've put in so much effort into the handling and driving dynamics of this car. So this now, I've driven it just now, and I'm happy to report that they're not just saying things out of the thin air. Okay, now look at the front styling. This is very, very different, shall I say. Maybe in this time and age, you want to stand out, you need to have something that is just outright different. And this front grille is just, in pictures it looked really glorious. In real life, I would have expected it to be chromed. And then I think about it, if it is chrome, right, it's so ostentatious. So, yeah, man. Do you like this styling? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And there is a different body kit actually when they launched this globally. Okay, so have a look at the front end. These are housing some radars over there. Yes, this one has adaptive cruise control. So this is nice to have. And this cut line isn't very prominent because it doesn't cut up here. And look at the headlamps, the daytime running lights. In line with this trend, this styling cue, there's a lot of this type of flowy lines that runs across. And then look at the bonnet, very muscular kind of lines. There's a lot of things going on in the front end. Okay, but I say a lot of things. Actually, you see, there's not a lot of stuff. It's just that single stuff has a lot of lines. Even the grille, even the bonnet lines. So there is a lot of flowing lines that congeals in the center over here. Okay, certainly looks sharp and looks athletic. The rims look tiny for the size. It's 18 inch, and then but it gives absolutely great comfort. And the drive just now shows the handling is great. Okay, you get all-round sensors, proximity sensors. You don't get 360 camera, but you get heads-up display and you get adaptive cruise control. Yeah, bit of a mixed bag over here. Okay, let's come to the sides. You can see the flowy lines continue. There's sort of like a bulge over here. So when you drive from the driver's seat, right, you will be able to see this and the other side. So it's very good in terms of navigating your way. Okay. Side mirrors are aerodynamic as well. You have this little thing here that glides air and it flows down here. So basically, they got busy with the design details of this car. Okay, and the sides. And come to the rear. Ours doesn't have that thing, which is maybe a blessing, because Malaysians, even though we like modern design, we like it to be cleaner. Now this paint is rather reminiscent of the Soul Red. A lot of glossy bits there, and very nice red color paint. Okay, Camry logo at the back, 2.5 V. You have a diffuser down here, dual pipes, reverse camera. Okay, press the button to open it. Okay, on the side, I always forgot about it. Okay, the boot is massive, absolutely massive. This almost looks like it's double the size of the one in the Lexus LS. Okay, no power boot here, but you get a swan neck mechanism that counteracts the weight, so that even when you open or when you close, it's not some heavy thing shutting down. Alright, so exterior design, certainly athletic now, very athletic. There's a shoulder line here on the sides, you can see that. Okay, and over here you can see the heads-up display. Let's go inside the driver's seat. That's the new interior of the new Camry. Now, it is still a D-segment car. In US, these Camrys they're everywhere. I think the Camry is the second most sellable car in the US after the Ford F-150, but in certain years it outsold the F-150. Now this one is very familiar. We've seen this in the Mazda 6, right? It's just one clean metal strip that also becomes a door handle towards the end. Pretty nice. This one is a bit, you'll be like, what is that? But it's more like a styling cue that, conjoins this part. So neat trick there, but I reckon with or without it, that actually doesn't affect much. Now this is the part where I was a bit surprised, because they could have put the speakers here, and here could put big bottles and all that, but now it ends up as a pretty small door panel, even though door pocket, even though the door panel is long and big. Okay, leather wrap here, soft touch plastics here, the hard but smooth type over here. So no complaints on the interior quality, but no surprises either. Okay, and here the aircon vents. Interesting, Lexus use a lot of painted plastic, but the Camry uses satin chrome. So interesting. Now this entire top part is the high quality soft touch injection mold polyurethane sort of material, but the patterns is, I would say, maybe a little bit old school, because we see newer patterns now. You know, they don't exactly follow or mimic the leather pattern anymore, but because the leather that was used in this car is this pattern, the exact same pattern, so maybe they do it anyway, but they could have a mix and match. I like this little detail here near the eject button forms this thing over here. It was a surprise, I would say. I mean, never thought they would go and do this thing, but of course this came from JBL. Maybe JBL was the ones who decided that. And here you have this line that does that. We see this as a prominent feature in new Toyota models. They sort of designed their dashboard to look that way. And this is also one way of telling you that they did not design a symmetrical dashboard, so that when they do left-hand drive, right-hand drive, they can cut some costs. They do it like more driver-oriented cabin design. Okay. Nonetheless, this is a design, not the usual boring one. Whether you like it or not is entirely up to you. My 6 Series also have that flowing thing here. You know, it's like a asymmetrical dashboard design, which gives you that feeling of more driver oriented. Okay, come to the steering wheel. This is the same pattern, and these really smooth leather here. I like it when it runs around, but I kind of miss, you know, sometimes last time Camry they would have one wood strip over here and bottom here, so you have a mixture of materials, but I guess now they're trying to make it sportier, younger, so they reduce the wood trims in this car. The stalks, be it the signal stalk or the wiper stalk, both feel very high quality. If you have touched the one in the Mercedes A-Class, you will feel that, hey, this one feels higher quality to operate. In fact, it feels higher quality than the one in the X3 that I tried recently. Okay, use leather to cover up this part, which is decent and expected. What wasn't expected is this. I didn't expect this segment to have power operated steering wheel. This still is a rather premium feature, I would say, and it's nice to see it here, even though I didn't expect it to be in a Camry class car. Okay, powered steering column. Here you have a JBL tweeter, which is rather prominent in the way it bulges up, and with the JBL branding there. Certainly is a branded speaker setup. It's just that the design doesn't seem to gel with the other parts of the car in terms of it feels like something standalone. Okay, aircon vents are mounted high up here so that it can channel airflow effectively to the rear, but that also means that you cannot point it really downwards to blow anything on the center console. Not that you need to, but if you have an Android phone that heats up, sometimes it's good to have some air drawing down here. Now this part is pretty neat. I kind of appreciate it. Let me shift the gear stock here. Okay, and pull the handbrake lever. Now, this one is nifty. See, I'm charging my phone, right, with the wireless charging pad. Okay, there's a wireless charger over here. Again, a premium feature, which is pretty nice. And here you have 12-volt socket, nicely covered. It's not flimsy at all, this part. And then you have the auxiliary jack and another USB port. Fast charging, 2.1. Okay, but look at that. The retractable tray is actually a wireless charging pad. I think that is pretty nice, and I think it's the first time I've seen it on any car. Most cars will just put the wireless charger down there and then you put your phone inside and then you can't see it. Sometimes you may need to grab your phone up for Waze or something, right? So this is pretty convenient and it's wide enough. A lot of cars, right, they did not measure their width nicely. So a lot of bigger phones like Note 8, Note 9, it will just hang like that. And pretty hard to get charging, right? So this is good. Okay, the size is just right. You can put your wallet there, you can put your phone there, you can put stuffs over there, or you can retract this while your phone is being charged. Notice that? And put another device here to charge and things like that. So I appreciate that. I think this is very well designed. Now, since they spend so much money over there, here is where I would say some optimization. Okay, remember the old Camry has that lid. You press and then the lid will go in, and then you have the cup holders in there. Well, guess what? Moving parts, the lid itself, the lid always gets damaged because sometimes it's open. Sometimes you have some stuffs over there. It's open halfway, and then you accidentally pressed it. Somebody push it. Kids climbing in the car, stepping on it, and that thing breaks. It's very often. And not only so, that lid has a little slit at the side where touch and go cards will drop in, coins will drop in, all sorts of things like that. And it became a hassle for any car makers with that mechanism because some owners will really go into service centers and say that, help me retrieve that. So they have to remove the center console cover and things like that. So that became something rather cumbersome. This one is much simpler, right? 2 cup holders here for your cups, and then they cut out the in-between so that you can put your other stuffs, you can put your wallet, you can put your touch and go, you can put your other stuffs here. So pretty usable, but of course I would hope to have the square cutout. Now, you've been looking at this pattern, right? Me too. It certainly is a mimic of wood patterns, but they did not use another material and try to pretend it is real wood. They merely use the pattern as a design inspiration, I would say, and then there is a certain metallic surface to it, and there is a texture feeling to it. So it's the first time I've seen this material being used. I mean, it certainly is better looking than the fake wood in the Accords or the CRVs, but it is something so unusual that you just go like, what is this? You know, a description that I keep popping up in my head is, this is space wood. Yep, wood from outer space. Maybe the outer space plays some club music as well. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh, very high quality glove box, but it's not covered in felt or whatsoever. Yeah, it's alright. It's big enough. Is usable, and build quality is standard Toyota fare. Every fit and finish is there. You know, everything fits together really nicely. It's just that they are not the ones that will go really how do I put this? They won't go how do I put this? They are not the types where they will order a lot of expensive materials and put them in the cabin. All are acceptable and decent materials to be used in a car. And if you're used to it, you have no complaints. But again, like I said, no surprises over there. Okay. Now, the infotainment system. The infotainment system has everything you need. Okay. You have something like a widget sort of screen. You know, it shows you different information. Then you can go into the menus. You know, the functions are very straightforward. Destination, audio, phone, apps, info, setup. Very simple. And then you have maps. Of course, it's not. I mean, cannot compare to the European marks, okay? But this one, all these are supplied by third party. They work nonetheless, even though the interface is really, really simple, okay? That's the contacts and then favorites. I think it's pretty easy to use. Wherever you go into, the options are on the left-hand side, and then the display will be here. So it's pretty straightforward, all right? So, but the buttons are really slim, and they're not the most tactile feeling because even though on design wise, on picture wise, they are like, oh, pretty nifty, you know, the text is big, it's easy to understand, easy to feel your fingers, because when you run your fingers when you're driving, right, you put your fingers on the left, right, you can actually really feel 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think that's the reason why they designed it that way, to really work with your fingers instead of your eyes, because the old ones where you have those big buttons, right, but they are flush, they are easy to press as a big button, but if you don't look at them, you really do not know where you're pressing. But this one, you can actually feel 1, 2, 3, 4 without looking at it. 1 week or 2 weeks after using it, you know phone is number 3, you know home is the first one, you know that menu, audio follows after that. So after 1 week of ownership, you will know where is where. The power knob and the volume knob, I would have expected it to be, somewhere, I don't know. At first, I intuitively wanted to adjust it, but it became the temperature. And these buttons, even though all 4 of them carry the same design theme, but they're not in the same color scheme as these. So a bit of mix and match there as well. These buttons could have been in metallic surfaces as well, and with the first and the last one in the same design and finishing, so that it looks in line. But yeah, small complaints over there. Now this car is equipped with not only heads-up display, but also, you see that? Adaptive cruise control. So you can activate the cruise control. You activate this, and then it says it's ready, and then you set the speed. And then you can plus or minus, and then you can set your distance with this button, and then you can turn on or off your lane keep assist. The lane keep assist is the type whereby when you are approaching the side of the, really touching the lanes, then it will tuck you back a bit. But it's not the type whereby it allows semi-autonomous pilot driving, whereby it locks you into the middle of the lane. Okay, it's not that type. Voice command is available, but it's only for 2 functions. Okay, you can call someone, or you can say tune in to channel 88.9 or something like that. So only 2 functions are available for this. Okay, let's have a look up here. You have the rear view mirrors with auto dimming, no surprises there. This is surprising. You do not have a sunglass holder, and this is in 2 different colors. I have no idea why, and these 2 colors are not, these 2 plastic panels are not available or found anywhere else in the cabin. Yep, it's unique thing over there, but all by itself. Okay, no surprises here as well. You get a vanity mirror both sides, good material quality, feels good. You get a Boss switch. I learned this term from Proton. They call it the Boss switch, and very straightforward. You can adjust this, and then you can adjust this anytime you like. The center console is huge, absolutely massive. Okay, you can put a full Longchamp handbag in here, but there are no ports or anything here. It's just a big compartment, big, huge compartment, and then that's it. Comfortable armrest, soft, plush. Okay, again, they could have had a different color leather, maybe brown color, so that it matches with the red color exterior and looks better. So infotainment dials, but this is the digital screen. So the digital screen is variable. You can display all sorts of information, and everything is there. Rather convenient, easy to pick up, but the design, as I said again, Japanese cars, their interface design is straightforward, but not the type whereby they focus a lot on aesthetics. Okay, now the doors are locked. You pull this, it unlocks. Okay, but the way it pops back, there's a sound over there. Let's come in here. Oh, sorry, I haven't unlocked the doors for the rear. Okay, oops, need to pee. Okay, now, for some reason, even though this car has heads-up display, it has radar cruise control, it only has 1 door with keyless entry. The others doesn't have the sensors. Not that you use it all the time, but it is convenient if they have it, right? Okay, so the rear, pretty spacious. It's a Camry, nonetheless. A lot of room up here. Pop. Okay, armrests, pretty straightforward. cup holder. Yeah. A lot of space, even you sit in the middle, it's comfortable. The aircon vents are pretty far away, and then you have 2 USB ports down here. Okay, that's the Camry's interior. Cheers, guys. Oh, you get a dash cam as well. All Toyotas have it. And as the rear passengers, you have this one. This is pretty standard now in D-segment cars these days. Okay, so all in all, this is still a very comfortable D-segment car. What else you want from a D-segment car, right? They're just big, they're just comfortable, they are practical, and being a Camry, I mean, my family has owned how many Camrys? And my wife's family, they are what we call the Camcott owners. So they will own Camry, Accord, Camry, Accord, Camry, Accord. Yeah, that's what it is. Hello, TJ. Sorry for bothering you. Yeah, a little compartment here. That's about it. Cheers. Okay, so heavy traffic, not exactly a jam, but I turned on the radar cruise control and just let the car do its thing. You know? First time is always a bit nervous because you do not know how the car would react. But I'm not someone who is unfamiliar with radar cruise control usage. One of my personal car, XC90, has one of the best semi-autopilot systems. Okay, nice. One thing I like is that the braking, when it's in radar cruise control mode, is very subtle. I like that. Okay, going to the tow, switch it off. Pretty nice. So I did the whole jam just now from the Baru Cave area. Of course, I'm holding the steering wheel, I'm still steering the car, but it's just that it's doing the braking, it's doing the monitoring of the car in front, so I'm way less stressed about these type of morning drives. It's pretty easy to operate because it uses the familiar buttons that you have, but then they added some there. So you turn it on and then you set. So after you turn it on, it will say radar ready, you know, then only you set. And yeah, and then you turn on the lane departure assist. Pretty alright. Yep, traffic jam again. And Japanese cars, the way they tune their engine and transmission and brakes, so in traffic jams you're just like easing smoothly, just easing, you know. There's no jerk, no choppiness that you get with some of the dual clutch transmissions and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just smooth.